Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to a brand new week. This is week 6 of our 6-week personal development training for adults. I am super, super excited that we're finally getting this program to a conclusion. I hope it's been very impactful for you. This is part of my 6-week teaching practice exercise for my postgraduate diploma in education at the University of Lagos. And I am super excited that you are on this journey with me. So today we are going to be sharing so today I'm going to be sharing my screen. This is going to be like a basic introduction to entrepreneurial mindset. I've posted the slide on the platform, so please um, download it so that you can be able to go through everything, because this is going to be basic introduction. I'm not going to be going through all the teachings. It will just be a basic introduction to entrepreneurial mindset. There is a mindset for entrepreneurship. And once we understand that mindset and once we begin to build or adopt that mindset, it changes the way we see things. It helps us to be able to identify, opportunities, to be able to create value, to be able to solve problems. Because entrepreneurship is not just buying and selling, it's not doing business. Entrepreneurship is about identifying problems, creating value to solve that problems, and in the process of doing that, you're also generating wealth and creating jobs. That is what entrepreneurship is all about. It involves risk taking because you're going to be doing things that normal people would not. Like a normal person would rather stay in a place where they are paying them money 9 to 5. At the end of the month, they are paid. They rather do that than go and start up something, just dive into the unknown to create solutions to be able to solve a problem they have identified in their community. So it's a mindset that we need to understand so that we can know what entrepreneurship truly is. When you call yourself an entrepreneur, you'll be able to ask yourself, do I have this mindset? Is this how I see things? Is this really what I'm doing? Or am I just doing business, buying and selling? Which is not a bad thing, but it's just not entrepreneurship. So the objective of this is to be able to introduce fundamental concepts of entrepreneurship to adults. And if you're working with young people, you can also be able to introduce them to this, to be able to cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset, fostering creativity, problem solving, and resilience, to equip participants with practical tools and frameworks for developing and validating business ideas, to inspire future innovators and leaders, to identify opportunities and create value. So we begin with a case study. And I am going to get this case study. Just give me a moment. Okay. I will share this case study after. So let's just dive in. Entrepreneurial mindset and foundation. What is entrepreneurship? The key definitions. Entrepreneurship is the process of creating, developing, and running a new business venture to make a profit, often with considerable risks in order to initiate and grow. Entrepreneurial mindset is a specific way of thinking that involves seeing challenges as opportunities, embracing calculated risks, being innovative, being resilient, and being proactive. So there are types of entrepreneurs. So an entrepreneur is a person that is doing this. So types of entrepreneurs, there are small business entrepreneurs. They create businesses to support their families or local communities. Example, local bookshop owners, consultants. There are scalable startup entrepreneurs. They aim for large-scale growth and often seek venture capital. Example, the tech companies that you know. There are social entrepreneurs. They focus on solving social and environmental problems. Example, nonprofit, fair trade organizations. Then there are intrapreneurs. These are entrepreneurs who work within an existing organization, developing new products or services for their employers. So, basic, fundamental principles of entrepreneurship is identifying problems and opportunities. So, looking around you, what problems do you or others face every day? What is that thing? What's that challenge? What problem, personally is affecting you personally, or you notice it in the community that you are? What needs are not being met? Another question is, what trends are emerging? This is the 21st century, we're in the digital age. What are the trends that are emerging? What existing products or services could be improved? Because entrepreneurship is not just about, creating brand new products or services. It is also about modifying or improving what is already existing. A lot of people growing up, the only thing that we knew then was if you wanted to buy food stuff, you go to the market. Like for us, that my dad was also partly a farmer. We had a cassava farm. We would plant cassava, harvest the cassava, peel off the back of the cassava, blend, grate it, do all the processes, and then we'll fry it to make gari. That's how we used to make our own gari. We didn't used to buy gari in the market. We'll just do our own gari. Or if we run out, we'll just run off to the market and buy like a cup, a paint or whatever, a bag of gari and come back. But today, you don't need to go through that process. Some people have already identified, oh, this is a problem. It's a long process. They will do it and then they package it in 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg bags. And when you go into your supermarket, you just grab the thing and take it home and make. That is a solution right there. And it's not just about that particular, gari as a product. other products like foodstuff, egusi, crayfish, those things that we never used to see in the shelves of supermarkets. Like right now, you even see yams in supermarkets. Everything that you need, you can always just walk into some supermarkets and buy them. That is entrepreneurship. That is solving a problem. People have identified that, oh, a lot of people don't like going to the market. So let's make it easy for them. And in that process, they are making profit. They are creating value. They are solving problems and they are making profit as well. That is what entrepreneurship is about. Even with these tech companies, when you hear the stories of these people, particularly the people like Paystack and all these big tech companies or really organizations that are doing so well, you see that they identified a problem. There is a payment problem, trying to get money transferred, pay for products or services, whether locally or internationally, and it's a problem and a gap. People go to bank and stand in queues for weeks and they can't be able to do a simple transfer. All of a sudden, these tech companies, they are making it so easy that with the tap of your phone, you can be able to make your payment. They are solving, they identified the problem, they created a solution. They're making the lives of people better. They're making a lot of profit. And of course, there are so many risks involved, and they are able to bear the risks and the consequences of the things that they are doing. So, benefits of entrepreneurship, you have autonomy and independence. You be your own boss, you set your own goal. There is financial reward, potential for high income and wealth creation. There is impact and innovation. You create something new, solve problems, make a difference. There is personal growth, develop new skills, overcome challenges, build resilience. There is job creation, develop new, contribute to the economy by creating employment opportunities. There is so much benefits. Now there are risks of entrepreneurship. There are financial risks, lots of personal savings and investment. Most of these people, they invest everything they own. They even go and sell family assets to even invest in this thing. It's risky because there is no 100% guarantee that what you are venturing into will work, but they believe in it and they take the risk. So there is time commitment. Oh my goodness, long hours and dedication required. You sit and work into the night, work all day, work like there is time commitment. There is stress and uncertainty dealing with unpredictability and pressure. There is failure, the possibility of the business not succeeding. These are the risks of entrepreneurship. But the rewards outweighs the risks when they succeed. Then there are rewards beyond money. In entrepreneurship, there is this satisfaction of building something from scratch. There is this fulfillment of being impactful, of being a blessing to so many people, particularly when you're creating a solution that is easing the lives of many people. There is this satisfaction, there is this fulfillment. Money cannot pay for that. There is making a positive difference in your community. There is seeing your ideas come to life and continuous learning and personal development. And also seeing the lives of many people impacted positively through your creation. So why entrepreneurship? To dive to the drive to create. There are benefits, there are risks, there are rewards. We have talked about these ones. There are different, personal SWOT analysis. These are things that you have to access, assess these things, your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and the threats. The strengths are what are you good at? What unique skills do you have? What are your weaknesses? What areas do you need to improve? What are the opportunities available? What external factors can be leveraged? What do you have in your hands? Then there are threats. What external challenges might hinder you? These are the things to consider before getting into entrepreneurship. So I think that with this basic introduction, now we have the ground basis for, entrepreneurial mindset. It's not just about buying and selling, like we've established. There are so many other things that go into it, like we have already stated. So now let's go on to ideation, brainstorming techniques, and finding niche. Ideation is just about creating what ideas do you have? How do you create ideas? How do you come about with ideas? There's brainstorming techniques and then finding, different niches that you can, get into. There are brainstorming ideas like mind mapping. Start with a central idea and branch out with related concepts. There are different methods. You can begin, we call it scramper methods. What can you replace? What can be combined with other things? What can be adapted from other contexts? What can be changed? What can be made better or smaller? How can it be used differently? What can be removed? What if we do the opposite or change the order? There are different things. The first computer, the computer that came out, it was like a huge machine like that. But with brainstorming and innovation, it has come down to even something that you hold onto your hands, like your smartphone. This is a process of different ideation. People are are bringing up different brainstorming, thinking of different ways to make it better, make it smaller, make it faster, make it accessible to many. These are the things that go into, you know, the brainstorming techniques. Random word association. Pick a random word and connect it to your problem or ideas. You have the reverse brainstorming. How could you cause this problem? This helps you uncover the solution. So how can you cause this problem? And then from the cause, create, as in finding out how you can cause the problem, you can now trace back to creating a solution. These are different methods. Then finding niche. A niche is a market, like a market that you want to be in, like a particular um, a particular you can call it, what word am I going to use now? There is in education, there is agriculture, there are different niches. Even within these categories, there are other subcategories and different niches in there. Where do you want to sit? For instance, PDAC Foundation, the niche that we occupy is personal development for children. It's not just personal development, there is personal development for everyone, but this is for children. So, what market, what field are you going in there to dominate in? Why that niche? Is it because there is less competition? It's easier to target? You know, why do you choose the niche that you have chosen? Is it because there is a need? Personally, before we got into personal development for children, we discovered that there is a need in this area. Yeah, there's personal development for professionals. But then other people started personal development for regular people, business people, and all. But then there was none for children. So we decided to occupy this position to solve, bridge the gap in this particular area. So how do you choose your niche? Are the things that what are the areas that you see a gap? It may not be something that is existing already. Before we started this, we didn't see this existing anywhere, but we decided to come and create that bridge to fill the gap. So it doesn't have to be something that is already existing. It can be something that you create or modify. How do you find the niche? Identify underserved groups. Look for specific problems within a broad market. Combine two unrelated interests or needs. So you see, it's all about, for you to actually be a successful entrepreneur, you have to really, care about people. You have to care about making the lives of people easy. Compassion must drive you. It cannot be driven by profit alone. Compassion, wanting to make the lives of people easy. People like Thomas Edison that created, the light bulb. What do you think that drove them to be able to keep going even when, it didn't work 999 times or 9,999 times, but they kept going? It's because they have seen how this is going to improve the lives of people, make the lives of people better, and they keep going. If you don't have compassion, if you don't care for people, you will not be resilient, because the challenges will come. If you don't care about people, you are going to fall behind and just throw in the towel. So there are different, before you really venture into, that area that you have identified, you have to do your market research. You have to understand your audience. You have to understand your competitors. Know your market. Who needs what you offer? Find your target audience. Even if it's food stuff that you want to make, just know that your program, your product, your service is not for everyone. Yes, everyone eats food, but you cannot reach everyone. So you have to target your people based on location, based on maybe economic empowerment. You have to target your people. Is my products for the high and mighty? Is it for the regular people? Is it for the underserved people? That will also determine how you will package and present your product or your service. So there is target audience analysis. Who are they? What is their age? What's their gender, their location, their occupation, their income? What are their needs? What do they want? What problems do they have? What do they desire? What are their behaviors? Where do they shop? What media do they consume? Why is this important? To tailor your product, your service, your marketing, and your pricing. It's important because if you understand the people that you're serving, you know where they are. When you see your people, you will know. You know how they buy. You know where they sell, where they buy from. You know how much, you'll be able to price your products. If your service or your product is for regular market women, and you put it in big money, put 7 figures, 5 figures, big money like that, you'll be wondering why you're not selling, because your people cannot afford what you're selling. So you have to understand your market, understand your people, understand their needs. Then you can be able to reach them, where they are. So you also have to have your competitors analyzed. Who are my competitors? Your direct competitors, your indirect competitors. Your direct competitors are, you know, people that offer similar products and service. Your indirect competitors addresses the same need directly, indirectly. What do they offer? What products, what service, what price, and what marketing strategy do they use? What are their strengths and weaknesses? Where can you differentiate it? Why is this important? To understand the market landscape and to find your unique selling proposition. Because the truth is that that thing that you want to do, probably there are people already doing it. So you don't want to come in and just dive in and become one of the differentiate, you know, what you're doing from other people. So it's important that you know your customers, It's important that you also know your competitors so that you can know how you present your product and services. Like I said, this is a huge topic and a very, very interesting one and easy to understand. Why I share the flyer, the slide on the group, so that you can take your time to look through it and learn more. So I believe that I have been able to you know present this entrepreneurial mindset in a way that you understand what the concept of entrepreneurship is. So we will have one more class, a concluding class where we'll wrap up every other thing and then have our assessment. So this particular week, you have to self-study because I've shared everything that you need. Take your time and look at the slides so that you can be able to take out what you can from it, and then we'll wrap it up towards the end of the week and have our assessment. Thank you for joining. I hope that you have learned something today. We will continue very soon. All right. Have a lovely week, everyone.